What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another New Comic Book Day Top 10 list. Today I'm going to be ranking and reviewing my top 10 books from New Comic Book Day, July 6, 2022. I managed to pick up a total of 13 issues this week. This was a massive week for New Comic Book Day. I honestly could have grabbed a lot of other issues, but I kind of picked and chose which ones I was going to grab. A lot of these books are honestly my pull list books, and I'm sorry, DC fans, I didn't grab the new Batman issue written by Chip Zdarsky. When I got there, all they had was the cardstock covers, and with the week I already had, and I was kind of picking and choosing other ones, I couldn't justify spending the $6.99 on the cardstock cover, but I do plan on picking it up at some point. So as I begin to talk about these books, just be aware there's definitely going to be spoilers. I get very excited talking about these books, but I do put a little spoiler tag down below in the corner to give you a heads up that a spoiler is about to happen. And if you do enjoy the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new videos, you won't regret it. And now let's get started on this week's top 10 list. Alright everyone, so these first three books I'm going to be talking about are in no specific order, and these are the ones that did not make this week's top 10 list. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with them, but the first one I'm going to be talking about today is from Boom Studios. We've got Basilisk, issue number 9. This is cover A. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this series has tremendously dropped off in my opinion. I really liked the beginning, I really liked the artwork as well, and I thought the story progressed fairly well, but as of late, it just feels extremely boring. This one, we did get a little bit more backstory on the Chimera and some of the other characters. I did like that aspect to this issue in particular, but overall, still kind of a boring issue, and just personally, I'm losing a ton of interest in this series. The next one I'm going to be talking about today is from Marvel. We've got The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5. This is cover A. Overall, I think the series is pretty well done. I like the new just kind of style of Spider-Man. The artwork, though, I'm still having a hard time getting past that. The last couple of issues I really enjoyed. This one, however, I didn't really think this one was that good either. I don't like the buildup that they're kind of doing, and then all of a sudden, we've got Peter Parker, and he kind of just has a laid-back issue. Like I said, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it. Let's talk about it a little bit more down below. However, this final issue, I truly did think this one was terrible. We've got Marvel's What If Miles Morales, issue number 5. This is cover A. This is the final issue of the series, and like I just got done saying, I thought this was a terrible issue, and overall, I thought this was a terrible series. I love Miles Morales. I love What If. You put both of them together, I figured it was going to be a very well done series, but just overall, the first issue was good, and I think after that, it just tremendously dropped off, and just this issue, the big payoff, totally not worth it, but now let's move on to number 10. And here we go, everyone. Kicking this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10. This is Image's Philadelphia, issue number 23. This is cover A. I actually really enjoyed this issue. Overall, I'm really enjoying the series. I think it's phenomenally well done. I'm really enjoying the artwork. The style flows very well with the story they're trying to tell. It's coming in at number 10, though. Even though I did really like the issue, it was a lot more on the slower side, a little boring at times, and at this point, the series is kind of getting a little confusing as well. They're introducing so many different characters, so many different groups of characters, and they're kind of all coming together. A lot of presidents. At one point, it really was just our main group of characters and Philadelphia versus the vampires. Now we've got werewolves, some magical beings, other groups of characters that are trying to kill the vampires and or the werewolves. We've got other presidents now being brought back into it. It's kind of a lot to keep up with, but if you can just read it all at once and take in the story without waiting month after month for single issues, it's extremely well done. Every time an issue releases, I usually go back and try to reread the last one just to give myself a little refresher, because like I said, there is a ton of stuff happening in this series, but the artwork, it flows so well with the story they're trying to tell, and just overall, I think it is a very well done run. Definitely check it out if you haven't already done so. Try to find the trade paperbacks, but for those reasons, we've got Philadelphia, issue number 23, coming in at number 10. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 9, this is Marvel's Ghost Rider, issue number 4, this is cover A. While I did enjoy this issue, and overall I'm enjoying the series, I'm kind of hoping for more out of it. Right now, we're 4 issues deep, and it still doesn't really feel like we have an established plot. We have those different groups of characters that are following Johnny Blaze, but the main story so far has just been Johnny Blaze dealing with his internal problems, kind of on the road, and a lot of it's just internal monologue, and I don't know, there hasn't really been anything happening. But as far as this issue goes, it's kind of the same as the last one, where the last one, if you can recall, they were on that backcountry road. He's still traveling across the country right now, but now he's following this kind of evil carnival. That's all I'm going to say about it, because the artwork was fantastic. It was insanely creepy, and I really am surprised that Marvel's letting Benjamin Percy get a little dark with this one. So I have high hopes for it. I'm hoping it gets a lot better, but I'm still hooked on it for now, and for those reasons, we've got Ghost Rider, issue number 4, coming in at number 9. And now we've got coming in at number 8 this week, this is Marvel's Carnage, issue number 4. This is cover A. Before I can start off on this issue, because honestly I did think it was pretty good, I gotta put it out there, I'm getting so tired already of just Marvel's multiversal, interdimensional travel that they're putting out in every single comic it feels like that I'm reading. We got the Gwenverse series, the What If Miles Morales series, and in the real Miles Morales series, they're also doing it right now. And that's where they're kind of hinting on in this one as well. I'm just kind of over it, but that's a whole different topic of itself. Let's talk about it more down below. This issue in particular, I thought it was probably one of my favorite ones of the series so far, after I just got done talking about how tired I am of the multiversal travel. This one felt more just Carnage out in the world, and then the story after that, it seems as though he's trying to take down some gods. I'm interested, but I'm not completely hooked just yet. I'm actually really interested in the detective side of the story. We've got another Spider character. She made an appearance. I'm not going to be spoiling that for you, but she's basically hinting at that our main detective right now is the key to basically saving everything. I'm hooked on his plotline. I'm not too particularly keen on the Carnage side of things. I like Ram V as a writer. I'm really excited to see what he does with the story, though, so I am going to continue on with this one. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 8 this week, Carnage, issue number 4. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 7. This is AWA's brand new series. We've got Absolution, issue number 1. This is cover A. I thought this was a great issue, but I'm going to be honest, I felt a little confused as I was reading it. But then once we got a little bit more towards the middle, towards the end of it, things started making a lot more sense. So I'm going to be talking about the issue itself, what it's about. So there are going to be some spoilers for this one. We've got our main character. This one is set definitely in, I don't know, probably the far future. But the way technology is going, I guess you never really do know. So she kind of has this computer system hooked up to her. She was a fugitive at one point, and now her absolution is she's taking down bad guys, and it's kind of like a Twitch stream where she's live streaming as she does it, but it's a government thing. People can watch her. They're commenting. So I felt a little confused, but like I said, they explained a lot more stuff as the issue kind of neared towards the end. Definitely check it out. Very interesting first issue. I really like the artwork. I like the action behind it, and the story seems very intriguing as well. So for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 7 this week, AWA's Absolution, issue number 1. Next up this week, folks, we've got coming in at number 6. This is Image's Firepower, issue number 22. This is cover A for it. This series has been so good as of late. I feel like I talk about this every time I review one of these issues. This entire new volume of Firepower, they figured it out. They have a nice balance of storytelling, action, plot progression, just character development as well. I am absolutely loving it. Every time a new Firepower issue comes out, I pretty much save it for last because that's how much I'm looking forward to it. This issue really progresses the story, and even when I thought they were done progressing the issue, they added a whole bunch of new stuff to it as well. We had a ton of action. We got all of our masters together. They're gearing up. They're going to be taking down this dragon. Like I said, this new volume has been A1. Definitely check it out. Find the back issues, find the hardcover for this one. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6 this week, Firepower, issue number 22. And now, folks, we're down to our top 5 issues of the week, and if you are enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Coming in at number 5, we've got Image's Little Monsters, issue number 5. This is one of the variant covers. Sadly, they didn't have cover A. This is why having a pull list is nice, but I usually don't have one. I just go in and hope for the best. Didn't get cover A, still a nice cover though, but the issue, another great issue. I'm very biased, I talk about it all the time. I'm a huge fan of Jeff Lemire. There's something about the writing style, and then the artwork for this one, the black and white, and then they just have that little tint of red every time there's blood in the scene. I love it. Our characters, it's like a lot of the other issues too. We get a little bit of backstory about how one of the kids became a vampire, and then it shoots right back to present time. There's a lot of story development in this one, and all the little vampires, they're still dealing with everything that happened in the last one. We get a little bit more action, and we get left on a nice cliffhanger as well. Jeff Lemire is killing it on this one. Definitely check it out. So for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 5 this week, Little Monsters, issue number 5. Folks, now we've got coming in at number 4 this week. This is Aftershocks, Astronaut Down, issue number 2. This is cover A. This series is definitely rising on my list. I am so happy that I picked up that first issue, very last second, and man, another great follow-up issue to that first one. The artwork, the storytelling, this one picks up directly where the last one left off, so it's going to be a little bit of spoilers in this one. Our main character, he's the last survivor out of all the astronauts, and he got shot so far forward that our scientists, they have no idea what to do. They're basically banking on him knowing what to do, get the equation, and take it back in time to save the planet. But he's so far in the future now, everything is fixed. He doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't know how to go about things, but he knows he still has his mission. I'm a big fan of this one. Definitely find that first issue if you can. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 4 this week, Astronaut Down, issue number 2. Next up, everyone, we've got coming in at number 3, this is Images. Twig, issue number 3, this is one of the variant covers. I absolutely love this series. I am very biased. I talk about it all the time, but I cannot get through one of these issues without smiling the entire time. The artwork, it's just so refreshing. It's bright, it's vibrant, and it's just so appealing to the eye. It flows so well with the story that Scotty Young is trying to tell, and the story, I'm absolutely loving it. We've got Twig and Splat. They're such a nice duo, and they're just on an adventure to save the world. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with this issue, but it picks up right where the last one left off. Twig and Splat, they get into a little bit of trouble, and then basically after that, they're back on their mission to save the world. Definitely check out this series. It's one of my favorite ones from Image right now. Like I said, I really hope they make it an ongoing, but for those reasons, we've got Twig, issue number 3, coming in at number 3. Down to our final 2 issues. We've got coming in at number 2 this week. This is Marvel's Strange Academy, issue number 18. This is cover A. I love this issue. This was a fantastic issue. I felt overall the arc and the series kind of fell short in my opinion, mainly because they are ending it at issue 18 and restarting later in the summer. I think it's beginning or end of August. It's going to be like semester number 2 or whatever they're going to be calling it. But I really love the kind of plot twist that they did with this story. If you can recall from a few issues ago, so there are going to be some spoilers, we've got our main character Emily, and then Doyle, he had that vision, and basically he decided to stay away from Emily because he's the one that's going to be destroying not just them, but the whole Strange Academy. So, you know, a lot of stuff has been happening since then. From that point on, we've got our other character, Calvin, who got kicked out of school. Emily is kind of leading this charge, like, hey, let's leave the school, let's let them fix everything, and then, you know, once they kind of meet, I guess, demands, then we'll go back to the school. But we learned so much stuff in this issue that it's not actually Doyle. I'm not spoiling anything. You gotta read this series. It's definitely my favorite one from Marvel. I'm really excited to see what they do with this next volume. Let's talk about this one more down below, though. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 2 this week, we've got Strange Academy, issue number 18. And here we go, everyone. This is it, my top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images, The Closet, issue number 2. This is cover A. This was a phenomenally well-told story, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I reviewed the first issue, I think I put it at number 7 or number 8. I honestly really didn't like it. It didn't really leave me wanting more. I wasn't too just pulled into the story. I really liked what James Tynion was doing with the characters, the nice little character development between the mom and the dad, and we're learning a lot of backstory about him, while there was still a mystery between the kid and that little monster. But I thought to myself when I was done reading, like, all right, this wasn't bad. There was a lot of other really good books that week. This issue made me appreciate that first one a lot more. Because of that character development and that plot buildup, we see a lot more about the dad in this one. We see the monster and the kid a little bit more. Still a nice mystery. We don't know anything about that side of the story, but we see how bad of a dad he really is. And that's kind of the entire issue. We're learning about him. He's sitting down having a conversation with the kid's uncle, and this uncle is basically telling him, like, man, hey, should you have done that? I can't believe you didn't do this. I can't believe you didn't do that. And I saw that, like, man, this dad's just taking a beating right now, but it's well-deserved. And at the same time, we see how sad and upset the kid is. And then the monster comes in. That's what I'm leaving you with. It was a great issue. Definitely check it out. But for those reasons, we absolutely have The Closet, issue number 2, taking the crown this week at number 1. So what'd you guys think about this week's new comic book day? I honestly thought it was fantastic. I picked up 13 total issues this week. The ones that didn't make the top 10 list, they were, you know, a little bit on the bad side. I wasn't a huge fan of them, but honestly, the rest of them were fantastic. The list was very hard to put in order, especially after last week when I really didn't enjoy a lot of those books. And there were so many other ones that I didn't pick up that I know I should have as well. The Captain America one came out. Dead Box issue number 3 finally released. But then Batman, I honestly did really want to pick that one up because I'm a big fan of Chip Zdarsky as well. But they didn't have cover A, and I just couldn't justify spending the $6.99 price tag on the cardstock cover, especially because, you know, DC's not my favorite, Batman's not my favorite. I already had a very expensive week and I didn't pick up some of the other books that I really wanted to read, but I am going to get it eventually. Let's talk about it more down below, and be sure to let me know which books you picked up this week and which ones you think I missed out on. What was your number 1 pick this week? And thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new videos. You won't regret it. And I've got 2 more sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.